Time now for our law and order feature with Yusuf Abramjee. He is the founder of Make SA Safe, also an anti-crime activist, joining us from Pretoria, the capital, via Skype. Yusuf, afternoon to you. Let's begin with the crime trends in recent days.
Good afternoon, Thembekile. Day 14 into level 2 of the lockdown, we are seeing dramatic increases in crime. Now, we know the initial period of the lockdown, we saw a substantial decrease, but cash in transit robberies, business robberies, farm attacks, kidnappings of business people, especially in the Johannesburg area, attacks on courier vehicles, house invasions are going up by the day. We're even seeing a lot of people ignoring the curfew regulations. Remember, the curfew is still in place from 10 p.m. till 4 a.m. A lot of these criminals are out on the roads. We are seeing an increase in drinking and driving. We are seeing an increase in crashes as a result of alcohol being abused. So overall, Thembekile, very worrying trend. But even the violent crimes, the CIT robberies, the attack on courier vehicles, those seem to be coming up. We've also had reports that more and more hijackings are being reported, and we know the modus operandi these days is to take you as hostage. They withdraw money from your ATM or from your credit card account, and then only after midnight do they normally release you. A very worrying situation.
So level 2 lockdown has come with the return of alcohol and the sale of tobacco legally, right? We've been speaking over the past few months about the black market and how it was prospering as a result of the lockdown regulations. You are founder of Tax Justice South Africa. You're involved in that space. Has the black market suffered at all as a result of the return of legal sales?
You remember, Thembekile, every time we spoke about the illicit trade, our biggest fear was post the unbanning of either cigarettes and alcohol, and also post the lockdown. It's going to take a very long time to try to get back to normality because these criminal syndicates are continuing to try to make money. We know the lockdown bans on both alcohol and cigarettes virtually handed the markets to the criminals, and the criminals won't let go very easily of the territory. The vast sums that they made on the black market and continue to make is expanding by the day, and these networks are now embedding themselves in various communities. We've also seen organized crime syndicates that were historically dealing in drugs. They branched out during the lockdown into alcohol and cigarettes because they saw the opportunity. And we at Tax Justice South Africa estimated that at one stage that these criminals were making 100 million rand each and every day as a result of the black market. Now, we know there are very credible reports from, for example, IRS Forensics and others showing that these syndicates have adopted a so-called protective racket tactic to force informal traders and also spaza shops to keep selling their stock. We know that the illicit cigarette trade has become the #1 product on the market, and even the UCT study that was released just a few weeks ago showed companies such as Gold Leaf Tobacco and others making large sums of money selling their products to the market. Now, we know very quickly, Thembekile, a packet of cigarettes, for example, and by the way, I'm not a smoker, these days, some of the products sell for under 25 rand. If a product is selling for under 25 rand, that automatically means that a product could be regarded as illicit because the minimum excise duties payable on a pack of 20 cigarettes is 17 rand 40. Your VAT is 3 rand 26. So it's virtually impossible to make a margin of about 4 rand 34 between the manufacturer, the wholesaler, and the retailer. And yes, we are finding that a lot of these cigarettes are being sold for under 25 rand, and we hope that authorities will act.
And what else are these criminal entities dealing in, Yusuf?
Very often we find that in addition to alcohol and cigarettes, that the trade in the textile industry is very rife. The illegal fuel trade is also coming back to levels where before the lockdown, where these people are smuggling in and avoiding taxes, doing round tripping and various other tricks they use. We're seeing the pharmaceutical trade, medicines, being sold on the black market. And I think, Thembekile, the time has now come for government to really come down very hard on these syndicates. We need SARS to act. We need, for example, the tobacco factories to be audited regularly. We want the government to ratify the WHO illicit trade protocol. We need the borders to be strengthened, especially between Zimbabwe and South Africa, where a lot of the smuggling takes place. And I think that the government must now come down very, very hard on these criminal syndicates. We know that during the lockdown, the cops were picking on people in the street with a packet or two of cigarettes. But the focus must now move to the illicit trade, and even Tax Justice South Africa Business Leadership South Africa, Business Against Crime, have all raised their voices to say the time has now come to stop the illicit trade.
Yusuf Abramjee, thank you.